Welcome back to the RMAC Showcase. 7 years ago, Patrick Hannaway led the RMAC in scoring, averaging more than 21 points per game. That same year, he was named Academic All-American. Graduating with a 3.92 GPA in biology, Hannaway has used that degree to become Dr. Patrick Hannaway.
All right, come on in.
For Patrick Hannaway, practicing dentistry at Bellevue Dental Associates in Lakewood is a dream come true.
I kind of grew up around the dental field in general. My mom was an assistant. She worked at the front desk, so I kind of grew up around dentists and orthodontists.
Coming out of high school, Hannaway played basketball at Division I Stephen F. Austin, but he soon realized his best bet to achieve his goal of becoming a dentist would be to transfer back home and play basketball at UCCS.
Dentistry would suit me to a T, so I really started focusing my studies and everything towards that goal as far as getting into dental school. I was so happy I ended up at UCCS just for the sheer fact of going there. I was actually able to have what I felt like to be somewhat of a life outside of basketball. Basketball's still very important to me, obviously, but at the same time, I mean, my wife now, who was then my girlfriend, that was important to me too, and my family was important, and other things were a lot more important than just basketball 24/7.
In just 2 seasons, Hannaway scored more than 1,000 points, good for 4th on the UCCS all-time list, and he took advantage of the infamous RMAC road trips to help his future career.
When you're in the RMAC, we didn't have the luxury usually of taking plane flights. We'd have to ride on the bus for hours to get to where we were going, and a lot of the time everyone else would sleep, and I wasn't sleeping because I had to get good grades and maintain a GPA. And while everyone else slept on the bus at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, I was typically awake studying a chapter of biology, chemistry, whatever it was that I had.
After graduating, Hannaway went to the University of Colorado Dental School. Not long after, he was hired by Elias Nazar, who brought Patrick to Bellevue.
Before 30, I got my doctorate, and so now I'm just kind of I don't want to say I'm kind of cruising along, but it's kind of nice to be done with school and not have to study, and now I can really focus all my attention on dentistry and just becoming a really good dentist.
Hannaway helped lay down the foundation for the men's basketball program here, a team that made it to the NCAA tournament for the first time ever this year. We talk UCCS basketball and all Mountain Lions athletics with their athletic director, Steve Kirkham, in the RMAC Roundup.
Points on 1 of 6 shooting.
Alley-oop! Standing there at Metro and watching us play in a national tournament was pretty special, quite frankly. A lot of our programs have come a long way in the last 10 years, but men's basketball really was the final piece of the puzzle to really be competitive and everything across the board.
For athletic director Steve Kirkham, the UCCS run to the NCAA tournament capped a vision he had when he first became the AD here 10 years ago. We talked to him on the RMAC Showcase in 2004 when at that time, UCCS had the smallest college gym in America.
University of Colorado should not be playing in a gym like this. It's what we've got right now. We make the best of it, but we're going to have great teams, great athletes. We're going to have to get a facility.
4 years ago, the Gallagly Event Center opened, and Kirkham says that's been huge in the ascension of the basketball programs here.
Gallagly was really the first step to that. You saw some change in the type of kid we got once we got the gym built, and then once we got Jeff here, then you really saw a change in the type of kid we were getting, but that also had a lot to do with scholarship money.
Up next on Kirkham's wish list is a new stadium.
The next thing on the plate for us is a track and soccer stadium. We've already had a lot of work with the architects. They've kind of put together the initial cost benefit for that, so I know chancellors around town talking about it'd be the only high-altitude training facility for Paralympians, for Wounded Warriors, for Olympians.
In the past decade, Kirkham has seen UCCS double in size and sees the future only getting brighter.
What puts in perspective for me being an alumni is we're going to be bigger than the University of Northern Colorado. And we're going to stay D2 and be as good as we can be in Division II, and the bigger we get, the more money we have to do that, and it's going to be fun.
The newest sport here on campus is women's golf. Their head coach is Sadie Farnsworth, who was all RMAC back a few years ago at Colorado Mesa. As Zach Garcia reports, Farnsworth sees plenty of potential for golf here in Colorado Springs.
Thank you, Eric. This season marks the inaugural year of women's golf for the UCCS Mountain Lions.
Although head coach Sadie Farnsworth is anything but a newcomer to RMAC women's golf.
Farnsworth isn't far removed from her own playing days at Colorado Mesa, where she was a team captain and led the Mavericks to an NCAA regional tournament appearance. She was named RMAC Academic Golfer of the Year as a senior in 2009, and last year, Farnsworth was hired as the first UCCS women's golf coach.
It's really different. It's really cool to see because when I see something bad happen, I can look at it and say, hey, I did this. It doesn't matter what you just did, it's how you recover from it. And I think it's really important for them to know that I just did this.
Farnsworth is leading a young and relatively inexperienced team in her first coaching stint. Laura Greitz of Centennial is Farnsworth's lone senior, and she's emerged as a standout golfer in RMAC women's play for UCCS. During the team's first spring tournament at the Regis Invitational at the Fox Hollow Golf Course, Greitz shot a second-round score of 78 and placed 6th overall.
We're all getting a lot closer. We're starting to really kind of form a team, which is wonderful. We're all starting to play a little bit better. I think some people need to kind of get their nerves a little bit more settled, but that'll just take some time, and I think we're definitely on our way to improvement and getting some of those low scores in.
As a team, the Mountain Lions finished 5th at the Windy Regis Invite behind Greitz and the efforts of teammates Sierra Todd, Amanda Kreitz, and sisters Jamie and Foray Zook. Coach Farnsworth has a strong vision for the future of her program.
We want to set a high standard. It's hard because mentally they're all freshman golfers. I mean, they haven't had a ton of experience playing at the collegiate level. So it's really important for them to realize that, they're just getting started, they're just getting comfortable, but once they kind of get a season under their belt, it's going to be so much easier.
In Lakewood, I'm Zach Garcia for the RMAC Showcase.
Still ahead, we catch up with the women's track team here at UCCS. Coming up next, Mike Pinnell hopes to hear his name called in the NFL draft. We'll be right back.